All right, so we're gonna work on quadruped or Qped trunk twists with various positions for our arms to allow the shoulders to be in different positions while we're working here. So if we're on our hands and knees and we find our neutral, so we arch, round, arch, and then flatten, what I'm gonna do first is put my hand right on my other shoulder. Okay, so this is a really protected position for this right shoulder. Anybody has any shoulder issues, this is kind of the simplest place to start. And all you're gonna do is twist your trunk towards that lifted arm. This weight-bearing arm, the one that's down, we need to kind of push away from that shoulder. Don't let people kind of hang like this. Kind of feel like you push your chest away from the floor, hand on your shoulder, and just turn. And what we're looking for is, and keeping the hips nice and still, we're looking to turn as much as we can, not necessarily just with the head, but getting the chest to face that other direction. Most of us, myself included, are not the same side to side. We have one side that works a little easier than the other. Now with this hand position, again, that's most protected for the shoulder, but you can do the same exercise with the hand behind the back. So now we've internally rotated it, right? The palm is just right on my lower back, and I'm gonna turn again. My shoulder blade has more of an opportunity now to roll backward, which can help pull my thoracic spine into more rotation. So we can do it hand behind the back. We can do the same thing, fingertips just resting right behind my ears. Now my shoulder's in external rotation. So I pull my shoulder blade down and back. I pull my hand back to the back of my head, which externally rotates the shoulder. Again, that's working the rotator cuff. And then we rotate again. Again, all the time pushing up out of that shoulder. And sometimes we feel like the experience is different. You can tell it's harder for me to rotate to my left. And so whenever I do that, my breath starts to feel restricted about here. I can push and maybe get a little bit more, but that's definitely the side I need to spend more time on. Our last one's with a longer arm. So we're gonna take that right hand, reach to the outside of the left knee back here, and then push up out of that left shoulder and reach the right arm high. Reach down and reach out. But again, we're not so concerned with where the hand ends up. I know you can't see my hand when it's over my head, but I don't want the arm to be flopping behind the body. What I want is for the body to actually be turning. So again, we're trying to think of like, where does your breastbone, your chest, where does that end up? How much rotation is that getting? That's really what our goal is here. Again, one side will probably feel different, a little harder on one side than the other. Spend more time on the harder side, so start and end on the harder side. And these different hand positions, if one feels like it's kind of a struggle, we need to kind of try to address why. So breaking down each of those movements. So if it feels like it's hard to get your hand here, it's fine, hand on your hips, okay. If it feels like it's hard to get your fingertips to the back of your head, you can put your thumb on your shoulder. So you basically can decrease the size of the movement to make it a little bit more gentle, but still get the same benefit out of it. Of course, this is a mobility exercise for the thoracic spine primarily, but it requires a lot of shoulder stability at the same time. So a lot of bang for your buck on those Qped twists. Enjoy.